You could be making filthy money if you live in the right state and you start a trades business. Forget being a guru, selling a course, forget a school group. None of that is gonna compare to how easy it is to get absolutely rich with a trades business. I'm Kent, and in 2022, I started a trades business with absolutely zero prior experience and blew it up to be the leading demolition company in my town. Okay, in this video, we're gonna go over why this opportunity crushes, how to vet what trade to get into, and then in what states and markets it's gonna work best in. And then lastly, how to get started and start printing money. All right, so the number one reason why this is the best model to get into is because of the barrier to entry. Think about it. So many people don't get into licensed trades because they have to get a license. So you have all of these old guys who they started in the trades, that's all they knew, they wanted to go out on their own, so eventually they had to get their license. Then you have all these young guys starting agencies, starting service businesses, and it's really easy to start one, but then it's way too crowded and the competition is insane. When you have a trade that needs a specific state license in order to perform work, you weed out a ton of your competition right then and there. Most people think because they're not currently in the trades, there's no way they're gonna be able to pass a contractor's exam. But that is exactly what you want. You don't want zero barrier to entry. What you really want is a medium barrier to entry business. This is gonna weed out all of the people who are just trying something new, seeing if it'll stick. And what you're gonna find is the people who have a license are usually a lot older, they've been in the trades for a while, but they don't have the mind for branding, for marketing, for creating a company culture. And so that's where you come in, starting a specific niche licensed trade business that has an eye for good design and branding, a mind for marketing, and somebody who's young and youthful and able to go out there, hit the pavement, and actually start closing jobs. And then when you grow, have a great company culture that has high standards, high expectations, and will absolutely crush. The average expectations for a tradesperson is that they're gonna be late, they're gonna waste their time, you're gonna pay a ton of money, and the service and quality is not really gonna be there. If you're watching this video, you already know. Have good branding, have great customer service, and create an excellent result. Super simple. And among all the other great things that I love about these types of businesses is that they're primarily B2B businesses. So you can go around and set up deals and set up partnerships with builders, with remodelers, with other contracting firms around town and be their dedicated sub. That way you land one client and they give you recurring business, hopefully every single month on every single project. That's why this is so huge. When you land a deal and you land the sale with one person, that one person can bring you millions of dollars over the lifetime value of that client. And look, it's actually so rare to see a young and ambitious person in the trades that people are going to want to give you business. But here's the thing, this is only going to work in certain markets, and not all trades are created equal. So here's how to vet what the right market is and what the right trade is. All right, so the number one thing here is to know whether or not you're in a state that requires each subcontractor to have their own contractor's license. So you have states that are permit-based system and states that are license-based systems. Permit-based system states are not ones you want to be in. This is where somebody pulls a permit who's a licensed GC and they can hire subs at will who are unlicensed underneath them as long as they have insurance. License-based states are ones you're looking for. This is Oregon, Florida, Nevada, Arizona. These are all the states that I've found that are license-based systems, meaning to perform any kind of work or even advertise in some cases that you are a subcontractor, you have to have your own license. These are the states you want to be in. What's going to happen in a permit-based state is that the GCs can pull a permit and they can hire whoever they want. And that means you have chuck in the truck guys going around doing all these jobs, trying to undercut you, and you have way more competition. Now, I'm not saying you can't win in these states, but generally it's gonna be a race to the bottom. You're gonna have a big immigrant workforce, and you're not gonna be able to price with the correct margins you need in your business to actually make a ton of money. Now listen, because you're going to have to go and get your contractor's license, that's the barrier to entry. Once you've gotten that, you want to get a relatively straightforward trade, something that is not going to require schooling. You don't want to go out and become an electrician, a plumber, HVAC, any of that stuff. Here's a bunch of niches that I think would totally crush. So feel free to pause, take a screenshot, or in the link in the description, my SEO agency Localize has put together a full PDF of every single niche trade that we think would absolutely crush and be worth considering. Then go ahead and Google in your town who's doing that. Find a list of all your competitors, make sure they're old and stuffy, have terrible websites, and if all of those things check out, you have yourself a winner. Okay, so how do you actually get started? Well, I'm not gonna hold your hand through the whole process, but basically, you're gonna wanna go to your state's website, find their contractors board, and figure out what it takes to apply and get your license. Go through that process. It's not gonna be easy, but remember, this is the moat that prevents most people from getting in. And at the same time, you need to be going on YouTube, going into forums, and be learning as much as you can about your niche as possible. And so now you need to get your pricing sorted. What you can do is call up 3 different people in that trade, invite them to a friend's house, get some averages, figure out your pricing for yourself. Get a rig, either a van or a truck is probably something you're gonna need. Brand it as soon as you can afford to. Work with a decent branding agency. I can help refer you to some good agencies if you want to email me. Next, you're gonna need a clean and simple website that's super SEO friendly. My SEO agency, Localize, will do all of that for you. Set your business up with the right software. I use and recommend Jobber. It's the right balance of simplicity for ease of use and function for service-based businesses. And look, depending on what trade you go into, I think the hardest part is going to be actually starting and performing your first job. Of course, you need to be watching YouTube videos, understanding all the mechanics of what trade you're getting yourself into, and then be practicing yourself. And then the best thing to do is find a friend or family member who's in the trades, in construction, who can kind of like be a mentor to you. And then don't do this for a random client because you'll probably drop the ball, look like an idiot. Do it for a friend or family member first. Get the feel for it, and then just start from there. From that point, you can start going out to local businesses, talk to general contractors, talk to remodelers, new builders, whoever you need to talk to start landing these jobs and get them from them, and ask for a foot in the door. People love a young, ambitious person coming in their business going, hey, I'd love to be a backup trade for this service, because everybody needs redundancy. You never know when that tile guy, that mason, that drywaller that they're using pisses them off, charges them the wrong price, makes the customer unhappy, and you can be there as a redundancy for that business. And if you actually start doing all these things, you're probably gonna be making more money than you know what to do with, and hell, you might even create a legacy business that you pass down to your kids. All right, so start doing your research, make sure all your prerequisites check out, figure out what trade you wanna go into, and if it ends up being demolition, give me an email. I give people the shortcut to print money in demolition all the time, and I'm sure I could help you too. Oh gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot this. I also need you to subscribe to my channel. I talk about trades and starting businesses that support the life you want to have. Thanks for watching.